Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a deep dive into the idea of enough.
Yeah. Enough. Such a simple word, but
Right, so much packed into it.
yeah, so much packed into it.
Have you ever felt like you're on that treadmill, you know,
hmm
working more just to buy more stuff,
Oh,
but
yeah.
never quite feeling satisfied?
Yeah.
I think we've all been there.
Definitely. At some point or another.
We're going to try to unpack that feeling using the book, Your Money or Your Life.
Oh, that's a great book. It's a classic for a reason.
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
It really is. It's been super influential in the personal finance space. And for good reason.
It lays out 9 steps
Yeah.
to reach what they call financial independence. And it really challenges us to rethink our whole relationship with money.
And you know what I find fascinating about this book?
What's that?
Is that it's not just about fattening up your bank account.
Right.
It's about aligning your money with your values
Um,
to live a more fulfilling life.
Yeah. So it's less about becoming a millionaire.
Right.
And more about figuring out what truly matters to you
Exactly.
and then using your money
Yeah.
to support that vision.
Yeah. That's the idea.
I like that.
It really is about
Yeah.
figuring out, okay, what do I actually care about?
Yeah.
What is important? And how can I make sure that my money is working for those goals and not the other way around?
Hmm.
Right?
Having your money work for you
Yeah.
instead of you working for your money.
Exactly.
I love that.
That's a big theme in this book.
So the book starts out
Yeah.
with this kind of radical concept
Yeah.
that money equals life energy.
That's powerful.
It's what you trade your time and your effort for.
Yeah.
So every time you spend money,
Yeah.
you're actually spending a piece of your life.
That is such a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not just these abstract numbers.
Yeah.
It's literally hours of your life that you've traded for this thing.
Right.
Whether it's a coffee or a car or a house,
That is a powerful way to look at it.
Yep.
I'm already starting to kind of rethink that impulse purchase I made this morning.
The authors really drive this point home
Yeah.
with this story about Joe Dominguez,
Okay.
who was one of the creators of the book.
Oh.
He used to hold up a $100 bill,
At his workshops.
at his workshops,
Oh.
and ask people, if you were money, would you hang out with you?
Huh. Right.
It's a bold question.
Yeah.
I wonder what my answer would be.
Yeah.
It definitely makes you stop and think
It really does.
about your spending habits.
Yeah.
For sure.
And are you using your money in a way that aligns with what's important to you?
So if money is life energy,
Hmm.
how do we make sure we're spending it wisely?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And this is where the book introduces this really cool visual
Okay.
called the fulfillment curve.
Okay, a fulfillment curve. I'm visualizing.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
So as we meet our basic needs
Uh-huh.
and start to enjoy some of life's comforts, you know.
Our fulfillment rises, right?
Okay, so you're getting more and more fulfilled.
Yeah, you're feeling good. You're like, okay, I've got my needs met. I'm comfortable.
Right.
But there's a peak.
Okay.
There's a point of enough.
Okay.
And the idea is that beyond that point,
Okay.
more stuff doesn't necessarily equal more happiness.
So there's like a sweet spot
Yeah.
where we have enough to live comfortably and
Yeah.
feel fulfilled.
That's the idea.
What happens if we keep chasing more
Yeah.
after we've hit that point?
Well, that's where things get interesting because
Mm.
according to the book,
Yeah.
the curve actually starts to dip down.
Oh,
So you might have more things, but you end up with more clutter,
yeah.
more overwhelm,
Right.
and even a sense of emptiness. It's like you're running on that treadmill you mentioned,
Yeah.
but you're not actually getting anywhere.
You're just kind of stuck.
You're just spinning your wheels and
Yeah.
not really getting anywhere.
That makes a lot of sense. So how do we even figure out
That's a good question.
where our own personal enough lies
Yeah.
on that fulfillment curve?
Right.
That seems like the first
Yeah.
step.
Yeah. Figuring out, okay, where is that sweet spot for me?
Yeah, where is it?
The book suggests one of the first things you can do
Okay.
is to track every dollar
Every dollar.
that comes in and goes out.
Okay.
Now, this isn't about like restrictive budgeting. It's
What?
really about becoming aware
Uh-huh.
of how you're spending your life energy.
So it's more about,
Remember, money equals life energy.
okay, so it's about conscious spending
Exactly.
rather than
It's about awareness.
deprivation.
Yes.
I'm all for that.
The authors even say like, no shame, no blame
I like that.
when it comes to tracking.
Okay.
It's just about getting a clear picture
Yeah.
of your financial habits.
Okay. So not judging myself,
It's
just
like
becoming aware.
just observing.
Yeah.
And they even encourage you to get creative. with your spending categories to
Oh,
make it
yeah.
more personal.
I like that.
Right.
So instead of just like groceries,
Yeah.
I could have a category called like
I love that.
fueling my foodie adventures
Right.
or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, make it fun.
Yeah.
Make it something that you're excited to track.
Yeah.
The book gives examples like beauty and aesthetics,
Huh?
guests,
Oh, yeah.
and even escape entertainment.
Ooh, escape entertainment.
Right.
I like that.
Like, what are you doing to
Yeah.
escape?
Yeah.
And by tracking your spending this way,
Yeah.
you start to notice patterns and areas where you might be leaking life energy.
Oh, leaking life energy
Mhm.
without even realizing it.
You're like, oh, wow, I'm spending way more on this than I thought I was.
Oh.
Or this isn't actually bringing me that much joy.
So you're not just mindlessly swiping your card.
Right.
You're actually considering, is this purchase worth the hours of my life I had to work to pay for it?
That's the shift in thinking that the book is trying to encourage.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's really about making that connection between your time and your money
Yeah.
and your values.
And it goes beyond just tracking.
Yeah, it does.
Once you have a month of spending under your belt,
Yeah.
your money or your life suggests you ask yourself 3 questions.
3 powerful questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hit me with those questions.
Hit me.
Okay, the first one is, did I receive fulfillment, satisfaction, and value in proportion to the life energy spent?
Okay,
So it's really about making sure.
did that new gadget
Yeah.
really bring me as much joy as I thought it would?
Right.
Or was it just like a fleeting moment of excitement?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the first question.
Okay.
The second question dives a little deeper. Is this expenditure of life energy in alignment with my values and life purpose?
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, so this is where things start to...
Yeah. Really personal.
Yeah.
It's not just about budgeting. It's about connecting your finances to your core values.
Exactly.
I like that.
It's really about saying, okay, is this how I want to spend my life energy?
Yeah.
Is this something that's truly important to me?
Uh-huh.
Or am I kind of just going through the motions here?
Yeah.
And the final question
Yeah.
challenges us to think about our relationship with work. How might this expenditure change if I didn't have to work for money?
Ooh, that's a mind bender.
Right.
Like, if money wasn't a factor,
Yeah.
would I still be
Would
making
you still buy that thing?
the same choices?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you still spend your time the same way?
It really makes you think about
Yeah,
what you truly value and enjoy.
it does.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads us to another key concept in the book,
Okay.
which is this idea of enough.
I'm sensing a theme here.
We are definitely circling around
But before we dive into that,
Yeah.
I want to hear a little bit more about.
those different approaches
Yeah.
to financial independence.
Oh.
You mentioned earlier, like the hares and tortoises.
Oh, right.
What is that all about?
Yeah. So the book talks about how some people are like hares, right?
Yeah. Okay, the hare.
They're all about reaching FI
Okay.
as quickly as possible,
Okay.
often through aggressive saving and investing.
Got it.
They're sprinting towards that finish line of early retirement.
Okay, I can see the appeal of that.
Right.
Like, who wouldn't want to retire early?
Yeah. It's a very appealing concept.
But you mentioned tortoises, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are they all about?
The tortoises take a slower,
Right.
more deliberate approach.
Okay.
They may prioritize things like work-life balance
Mm-hmm.
or pursuing passion projects alongside their FI journey.
So it's less about the speed
Yeah.
and more about finding a pace
Exactly.
that aligns with your individual values and goals.
Your money or your life really encourages you to find your own unique path
I like that.
to enough.
Yeah.
Whether you're a hare or a tortoise.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see how this book
Yeah.
is less about strict rules and more about
It's a framework.
providing a framework
Exactly.
for making conscious choices
Yeah.
about your life and your money.
And it's about asking yourself those tough questions.
Yeah.
And really getting clear on what's important to you.
Okay, but how do we actually put these principles into action?
That's a great question.
That's what I want to know.
And that's what we're going to be exploring in the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
where we're going to uncover practical strategies
Yeah.
for minimizing spending and maximizing fulfillment.
All right. I'm ready for part 2.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive into your money or your life.
I'm ready for more.
Before we move on, I just wanted to touch on something we discussed earlier.
Okay.
You know that idea of clutter?
Ah, yes. The stuff
Yeah.
beyond enough.
The stuff beyond
It's
enough.
easy to accumulate
So easy.
things without realizing
without even realizing it.
How much they're weighing us down.
Yeah.
I know I've definitely been guilty of that.
Oh, yeah, me too. I think it's something we all face.
Yeah.
And the book really digs into how clutter can have like different forms and functions. Like it's not just the physical stuff, right?
Okay.
It's also the mental and emotional baggage we carry.
You mean like unfinished projects?
Yes, exactly.
Commitments that we've overextended ourselves on?
Yes.
Lingering guilt from past financial mistakes?
Oh, yeah, totally. Like all of that stuff can really weigh us down.
Yeah.
So your money or your life encourages us to really like clear out all forms of clutter.
So not
Like,
just
yeah.
your physical space, but also your mental and emotional space.
Exactly. By doing so,
Okay.
we create space for what truly matters.
So this whole process
Yeah.
goes beyond
It does.
managing money.
It's about your whole life.
It's about taking control
Yeah.
of your life
Yeah.
and designing it in a way
Designing a life you love,
that aligns with your values.
that's the heart of it.
I love that.
Yeah. And a big step toward that is changing how we view spending.
Okay.
And the book offers a bunch of strategies for what they call mindful consumption
Okay.
and frugal living.
Okay. I'm on board with the mindfulness,
Yeah.
but frugal living.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, that word makes me think of pinching pennies and feeling deprived.
I know it gets a bad rap,
Yeah.
but the book actually reframes frugality as a path to enjoyment and fulfillment.
Wait, so frugality can be fun?
It absolutely can be.
Yeah.
It's not about deprivation.
Yeah.
It's about getting the most value
Okay.
out of your life, energy, and your resources.
So it's about intentionality,
Yeah,
not deprivation.
exactly.
Okay.
It's about appreciating what you have
Uh-huh.
and making conscious choices about your money.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get practical, though.
Okay.
What are some specific tips
Oh.
from the book on embracing frugality?
One of the first suggestions is really simple.
Stop trying to impress other people. Right?
How much of our spending is really just driven by
Yeah.
wanting to keep up with
And keep up with the Jonas.
the certain image or lifestyle?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a recipe for unhappiness.
Yeah.
The book really reminds us that real fulfillment comes from within.
Comes from within, not
Not
from
with some external value.
those external things. Yeah. Okay.
So ditch the status symbols and focus on what genuinely makes you happy.
Makes sense to me.
Another big one is the power of repair over replace,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like fixing things instead of just automatically buying new ones.
That reminds me of my grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
He could fix anything with some duct tape and a screwdriver.
I love it.
Not only did he save money, but he also reduced waste.
You got it. It's a win-win for your wallet and the environment.
Yeah.
And your money or your life even encourages you to actually wear it out.
Wear it out. Think about the last item you truly wore out completely.
Yeah.
In a world of fast fashion, we're always on to the next best thing
Yeah.
before we've even fully utilized what we have.
Totally. And then there's buying used whenever possible. Thrift stores, consignment shops, online marketplaces.
So many options.
There are so many ways to find quality items
Yeah,
at a fraction of the cost.
I love thrifting.
Me too.
It's like a treasure hunt.
It is.
Plus, it's a sustainable way to shop.
You got it.
Okay.
The book also suggests swapping clothes or books with friends.
Well, that's a good idea.
Right.
It's one way to refresh your belongings without
Yeah.
spending a dime.
Exactly. Okay, here's one that's really important. Research value over the lowest price.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
tempting to just grab the cheapest option.
Always.
But the book encourages you to consider the long-term value.
So it's about looking beyond the price tag
Yes.
and considering the
Or-
quality,
Yes.
the quality, the durability,
Durability.
even the ethical
And
implications
the sourcing?
of a purchase.
Yeah.
Sometimes spending a bit more upfront can actually save you money in the long run.
Totally. And of course, the book reminds us to be savvy shoppers.
Yes, compare prices.
Compare prices, look for discounts. Consider buying in bulk for items you use regularly.
It's like all about being a conscious consumer.
Exactly.
So what stands out to me is the message of intentionality.
Yes.
Like it's about aligning your choices
With your values.
with your values and your goals.
Yeah.
And it's about
Shifting from mindless consumption.
shifting from mindless consumption to conscious spending.
Exactly.
I like that.
And you'll likely find you're spending less
Uh-huh.
without feeling deprived.
Because you're not just trying to fill a void
Right.
with stuff. You're making choices
Yeah.
that truly enrich your life.
That's the key.
Speaking of enriching your life, let's circle back to that concept of enough.
Hmm.
How does your money or your life help us define what enough means for each of us?
Well, the book really tackles this head on. Remember, it's not just about reaching some arbitrary number
Right.
in your bank account.
It's about aligning your spending with your values.
Yeah.
Finding that sweet spot on the fulfillment curve
Exactly.
where you feel content and satisfied.
Yeah, you're like, okay, this feels good. I have enough. I don't need to be constantly chasing more.
So enough looks different for everyone.
It does.
It's about having enough to cover your needs,
Yeah.
live comfortably,
Mm-hmm.
but also about recognizing that more stuff doesn't automatically equal more happiness.
That's such an important point.
Yeah.
Because we're often told the opposite, right?
Yeah.
That we need more to be happy.
Yeah. More.
More.
Yeah.
And the book is really challenging that message.
I like that.
It's encouraging us to question those beliefs.
Yeah.
And to really define what matters to us.
So how do we even go about figuring out
Yeah.
what our personal enough looks like?
The book really emphasizes the importance of introspection.
Okay. Interesting.
Like taking some time to really reflect on your values, your passions.
So really figuring out what makes your heart sing
Yeah,
and then aligning your spending with those things.
that's the idea.
What if somebody's passions
Yeah,
are things that don't necessarily bring in a lot of money,
that's a great question.
like art or writing?
And it leads us to another key aspect of the book,
Okay.
which is this idea of redefining work.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Tell me more about this redefining work concept.
Tell me more.
So your money or your life really challenges
Okay.
that traditional notion of work as something we do
Uh-huh.
solely for a paycheck.
Okay.
It encourages us to view work as
Yeah.
any activity that we find meaningful and fulfilling.
So work doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be a Monday through Friday sort of dying.
That's how they put it in the book?
That's how they put it, yeah.
Monday through Friday sort of dying.
Yeah.
It could be about
Yeah.
pursuing your passions.
Even if they don't fit the traditional definition of a job.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
It's about separating your need for income
Okay.
from your desire to contribute and create.
That really resonates with me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have felt trapped
I think so too.
in jobs that
Yeah.
drain our energy.
Even if they pay the bills.
Yeah.
And the book really encourages you to think about what you would do
Yeah.
if money wasn't a factor.
If money was no object,
Yeah. What activities would you pursue?
that's a powerful question.
What impact would you want to make on the world?
It makes you think about what you truly value.
Yeah.
What kind of work would feel like a calling
Yeah.
rather than a chore?
Exactly.
And by achieving financial independence,
Yeah.
the book argues
Yeah.
you can free yourself
From the constraints.
from the constraints of
Yeah.
needing a job.
Of needing a job just for survival.
It's not about never working again.
Right.
It's
It's about having the freedom to choose work.
Having the choice
Yeah.
to design your life on your own terms,
That's the key.
whether that's early retirement
Yeah.
or a passion project
Mhm.
or something in between.
It's about reclaiming ownership of your time and your energy.
I love that. And that's where the book introduces this visual tool
Yeah.
called a wall chart.
The wall chart. Yeah.
Okay, I'm all ears. What is this wall chart?
So the wall chart is basically a way
Okay.
to visually track your progress towards FI.
Okay.
You basically plot your monthly income and expenses over time.
Okay, like a graph.
Yeah, like a graph.
Okay.
And as your savings grow and your expenses decrease,
Uh-huh.
something interesting happens.
I'm on the edge of my seat. What happens?
There's a point
Okay.
where your investment income surpasses your expenses.
Whoa.
And the book calls this the crossover point.
But the crossover point.
It's the moment
Yeah.
when you become financially independent.
That's huge.
And it is.
Like it's a financial tipping point
Yeah.
where your money starts working for you
Exactly.
instead of the other way around.
That's the idea. And once you reach that crossover point,
Yeah.
you have so much more freedom to choose how you spend your time and energy.
You might choose to retire early,
Yeah.
work part-time,
Mm-hmm.
pursue a passion project
Yeah.
that maybe wasn't financially viable before.
Exactly.
The key is that you have the power to choose.
You have the power to choose.
This is so inspiring.
It is.
It shows that financial independence isn't just like
Yeah.
a pipe dream for the wealthy elite.
It's not just for the rich and famous.
It's something that anyone can achieve
Absolutely.
with the right mindset
Yeah. And a commitment
and a commitment to the process.
to the process. Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that the book shares this anecdote
Oh, yeah.
about a woman named Elaine
Yeah.
and her experience with the 3 transformative questions.
Elaine's story is such a great example of how those 3 questions can lead to profound insights.
Okay, what can you tell me about Elaine's story?
So as Elaine's self-esteem grew,
Uh-huh.
she unconsciously started spending more money. Okay.
But it wasn't bringing her the fulfillment that she expected.
So she was spending more,
Yeah.
but feeling less satisfied.
Exactly.
That's so relatable.
It is. It
It's
is.
easy to fall into that trap.
Yeah, thinking that more stuff will
Yeah.
make us happier.
More stuff equals more happiness.
Yeah, but it often doesn't.
It often doesn't.
And through those three questions, Elaine realized
Yeah.
that her increased spending wasn't aligned with her true values,
Yeah.
and it wasn't actually contributing to her happiness.
It's about being intentional
Yeah,
with our choices and making sure
that our spending reflects our values.
that our spending reflects our values and our vision for our lives.
Exactly.
I love that.
And speaking of visions for our lives,
Yeah.
let's dive into some of the inspiring stories that the book shares
Okay.
about people who have achieved financial independence and used it to create lives filled with purpose and passion.
I'm ready for some inspiring stories.
I've got some good ones for you.
Tell me about some of the people.
Who've successfully navigated this path to enough
Yeah.
and what their lives look like after achieving FI. All right, bring on the inspiration. I'm eager to hear these stories from your money or your life. It's one thing to talk about the ideas, but hearing how real people have used this to pursue their passions really brings it all home.
Oh, absolutely. One that really sticks with me is about Sam. He was a garbage collector, and he really diligently followed those steps laid out in the book.
A garbage collector achieving financial independence? This is incredible.
Right.
It really shows that this isn't just some exclusive club, right? Anyone can do this.
Exactly. It really challenges that notion that it's just for the elite.
So he reached his crossover point. Then what? What did he do with that freedom?
Well, he pursued his dream. He'd always wanted to get into sustainable living, and he was able to start a homestead and even got his neighbors involved in some eco-friendly practices.
That's so cool. It's such a powerful example of how it's not about a specific income level, but about taking control of your money and using it for what truly matters to you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And, it doesn't always mean quitting work completely. There are folks who continue to work, but they find ways to make it more meaningful, more in line with their purpose.
So it's not just about escaping work altogether.
No, not necessarily.
It's about having the choice,
Exactly.
the flexibility to design your own life.
That's really what financial independence is all about.
I love that. Now, before we wrap up, you mentioned something really intriguing called financial interdependence. What's that all about?
Ah, yes, this is a really fascinating concept from the book. It builds on the idea of financial independence, but takes it a step further.
Okay, how so?
Well, it recognizes that we're not just individuals striving for our own financial well-being. We're part of a community, and there's a lot of power in connection and sharing resources.
So it's like taking enough beyond just our own personal needs and extending it outwards.
Yes, exactly. It's about moving from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance and realizing that true wealth isn't just about our own individual net worth. It's about supporting each other and building a world where everyone has enough.
I really love that idea. This
Mm.
whole deep dive has been so eye-opening. And your money or your life offers such a practical and inspiring guide for not just managing money, but for actually designing a fulfilling life.
It's really about taking back your time, spending in alignment with what you value, and having that freedom to do work that feels more like a calling than a chore.
Thank you so much for sharing all these amazing insights. I have a feeling our listeners are going to find this conversation really valuable.
It's been a pleasure diving deep with you.
And to all of you listening, we hope this deep dive has sparked some inspiration for your own journey toward enough. Remember, it's not about reaching some magic number. It's about finding that sweet spot where you feel content and satisfied. Align your spending with your values, find work that truly lights you up, and cultivate that sense of abundance that goes beyond just yourself. So what would enough look like in your life? And what steps can you take starting today to make it happen? Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.